Okay, I think we need to start talking about Dead or Alive. Because really, we gotta love the waifus. The waifus, man. But really, Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo really do need to be called out on their shenanigans. And there are some things that really need to happen ASAP. Okay, I think we need to start talking about Dead or Alive. Because really, we gotta love the waifus. The waifus, man. But really, Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo really do need to be called out on their shenanigans. And there are some things that really need to happen ASAP. Okay, I think we need to go ahead and start talking about the Dead or Alive franchise, because there is a lot of things that need to be done. And really, yeah, I do get the circumstances, I do understand the situation here. But, however, considering the sour taste and the sour reputation right now, things still really need to be considered, alright? And I will elaborate more on that later in the video. But right now, I'm going to go through a lot of things that do kind of need to be improved in Dead or Alive. Alright, now the first thing, and the first obvious thing that needs to be considered, is that you need to know your fans, and that you need to know the identity of the Dead or Alive franchise. Yes, it is known as this intense fighting game that's like insane melee based and out of nowhere and chaotic. Yes. But what's also part of the Dead or Alive, and it is embedded, it's etched in stone, is the waifus and the fan service. Yes, the waifus and the fan service are etched, are cemented as part of Dead or Alive's identity. And there is not a single thing you could do about it. And yeah, it has been totally etched. Why was the Dead or Alive Xtreme spin-offs a thing? Because people got attached to the female characters of Dead or Alive. People were like, oh, Kasumi's my video game crush. This is fantastic. This is... So yes, when it comes to the waifus and the fan service, it is permanently etched as part of the identity. What makes Dead or Alive, Dead or Alive. Okay? Now, yes, there are other factors in, like, of course, the gameplay is part of the identity of Dead or Alive. The chaos is part of the identity of Dead or Alive. And while, yes, the cast of characters, male or female, are pretty much the identity of Dead or Alive. But the waifus in the fan service, they're part of the identity of Dead or Alive. It is what Dead or Alive is known for. And if you end up toning it down like you have been attempting to, it's going to backfire in your face. Okay, now the second thing that needs to happen, and of course, yeah, I know you're afraid of the flack that you guys might be getting. I do understand that. But really, with how the franchise is doing right now, you're going to need to do it. You're going to need to make Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 Scarlet and Dead or Alive Xtreme Venus Vacation available in North American and European shelves. Alright? Okay, yes, Venus Vacation is the free-to-play PC Ultimate Dead or Alive Xtreme thing with more unique waifus compared to Dead or Alive 6's newcomers, including shock therapist with daddy issues. Okay? Yeah? However, where I do want to go ahead and throw the thing in there is that when it comes to the Dead or Alive Xtreme spin-offs, there are a niche there's that niche audience that likes the Dead or Alive Xtreme spin-offs. And really, this is where Dead or Alive Xtreme's purpose kicks in. People love the waifus and the fan service. And of course, this Dead or Alive Xtreme spin-off series was made to pretty much touch on that waifus and fan service aspect of the Dead or Alive franchise. So yeah, that is going to be a thing. And of course, you may get the flack for it. But however, considering how the franchise is doing, you're going to want to make Venus Vacation available to everyone on the marketplaces, on Steam. And you're going to want to localize Xtreme 3 Scarlet for the Switch and PlayStation 4. It needs to happen. Alright. Okay, now, another thing, probably the third thing, I've lost count, that needs to happen here is that your DLC practices needs to be toned down. Because with what you're doing with the DLC right now, and what you have been doing with Dead or Alive 5, and really, I've been kind of looking around, I've been kind of looking at it, and why yes, there are the unlockable characters like Mai, Shiranui, and Naotori. However, it's not going to hide the fact that why yes, the costumes, a lot of the time, they're just cosmetic DLC, and most of Dead or Alive's DLC is basically cosmetic, more cosmetic than DLC character, as part of a crossover. Okay? Where I do want to go ahead and focus on specifically are the DLC outfits. I know they're cosmetics. I get that they don't add anything to the game. The game flows the same. It's just that your character wears a different outfit. Okay? I do understand that. However, there is a limit. Okay? And people are going to get the impression that you are super, super greedy. Yes, I do get the expenses of making DLC outfits and modeling DLC outfits. I do understand it. But, however, here's a couple of things that kind of need to be done. Actually, as a matter of fact, both need to be considered now that I kind of think about it. Now, first off, you're going to have to start coming out with a lot of free DLC. You need more free DLC. Especially free swimsuit DLC for all the female characters. Okay? Yeah. And, of course, you're going to have to cut down the price of your season passes. The $100 season pass stuff is just out of control. You've been doing it with Dead or Alive 5, and I've been sitting around here with no idea what on earth that... I mean, I look at this and it's like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And really, do we really want to hit to a point where season passes cost $100 each? And if you kind of think about Dead or Alive 5, you're expecting me to pay like $300 for a game after spending $60 on a game. When it came to the previous titles, we just paid the $50 to $60, and we're good there. Hell, Dead or Alive Ultimate. Yeah, let's talk about Ultimate. As a matter of fact, it came back to me. There was swimsuits in Dead or Alive Ultimate and Ultimate 2. However, we never had to pay DLC prices. They were already included to it. We already had to unlock them. And that's the thing. Okay, that is the thing. But Now, when we kind of look at Dead or Alive 5 and Dead or Alive 6, your season passes are $100. Yes, I get it's just cosmetic DLC, but do you think people are going to be willing to spend, after $60, $100 each season pass? I know there's going to be a few people who are going to be super rich as heck and are going to do it, but not a lot of people are going to do that. As a matter of fact, what about someone who is coming back from Dead or Alive after a long time and it finds this? This is... If you kind of think about it, the $100 season pass DLC situation, you're putting sour tastes in people's mouths. And really, you need to make a lot of free DLC, and you're going to need to lower the bloody price of your season passes. You're going to need to make your season passes much, much cheaper. Alright? Because right now, you're coming off as greedy. Now, definitely the fourth thing that really needs to happen is that tag battles come back to Dead or Alive 6. Okay? Tag battles have been part of Dead or Alive. Ever since Dead or Alive 2 came out, tag battles were a thing. Okay? You can switch between characters from left and right. Yes, you can do that. But really, when it came to Dead or Alive 6, there's no tag battles. What's up with that? And a lot of people are sitting around and being like, yo, what the heck's up with that? What is up with that? Okay? I mean, how are we going to have... Because here's the thing, when it came to Dead or Alive and the tag battles, this is how four people all together get the opportunity to face off at the same time. Okay, because when it came to the tag battles, there used to be one player and two player on Team A and third player, fourth player on Team B. And it was like that when it came to Dead or Alive 5. Okay? But now, when we're talking about Dead or Alive 6, this game really needs the tag battles. Real bad. Because there are no tag battles. And I don't know why you went and didn't add the tag battles. You need to start adding those tag battles. Okay? That needs to happen. Really bad. Now, another improvement for Dead or Alive 5. Okay? I'm going to say this. Now, the story mode was alright. Okay? But really, a lot of people have been stating this, and I do see where people come from. They want more. They want more. Because the story mode has been a complete turnoff. A complete turnoff. And why, yes, I do find the story mode completely alright, but the majority has been saying, look, the story mode is just, what the heck is this? Okay? I've read about it on Steam. I've read about it on I've been reading about it on comment sections of articles from left and right. Hey, they need to fix the story mode. Oh my goodness, the story mode. Ugh. Ugh. Eek. Yeah. I do get it. But really, the way you've been structuring story mode and the way people have been attempting to do this is they were trying to copy off of Mortal Kombat story mode. The biggest thing around here, do not copy off of Mortal Kombat story modes. Alright? This is where you need to learn to start doing your own thing. Now, if you want to go through like a story mode, you can have like the traditional 8 stages and final fight, and then you get character cutscenes. But however, I think what would have been wonderful for Dead or Alive 6 is that there would be the traditional story mode formula, except you don't have to do alternate endings. You can make endings pretty much become the perspective of one character. which will motivate the player into playing all the characters, and they could get all of the perspectives. And then, as soon as they get all the perspectives, they all know that the big, huge, big end of Dead or Alive. Okay. I guess I get that the story modes in previous titles there were plenty, but of course it can throw people off at the same time. But if you want to do the perspective idea or the perspective approach, that would be wonderful. But really, I think it's time to fix that story mode. And if you wanted, and if I were you, I'd make the additional story content completely free, considering the situation around here. Wait a minute, didn't I say 2 things need to happen when it comes to the DLC outfits? Yeah, I think I did say that. Here's the thing. Yes, a lot of free DLC and cheaper season pass prices. That would be wonderful. I mean, the $100 is a little bit over the top. Okay. However, the idea for Dead or Alive 6, and yes, there is going to be some downsides to what you do. And here is the thing. You used to go ahead and do these costume contests, and really, it was needing to happen for Dead or Alive. It was already etched around here, and the writings were on the wall that it needed to happen. There needs to be a workshop where players can go and make their own costume stuff. Make their own costumes. Hell, not only make costumes for characters, but make stages. I mean, let's talk about Counter-Strike, and let's talk about that. Counter-Strike had user-created stages. And pretty much, when it came to the user-created stages, there was plenty of line. And of course, why yes, we do have our favorites like DE does too. But however, when it came to people creating their own stages, they added more variety to them. Yes, of course, there's the boring blands like my Counter-Strike stages, which I really do need to improve upon. And yeah. But however, for Dead or Alive, I think this is wonderful and a brilliant idea. Have players make their own costumes for their favorite characters, and also have players make stages. Because if you do that, it's not going to win every fan over, but this is definitely going to win over a lot of people. And why yes, people will go ahead and use this as a means of pirating your costume DLC. You just have to crack down and regulate on them by just giving them like copyright takedowns, and because people will go ahead and outright steal your DLC costumes and will go ahead and flat out share them out. Of course, these are paid DLCs. They were made for people to pay to unlock these things. For the sake of them. So, there are heavy legal repercussions when somebody goes and takes the DLC, rips the stuff from the DLC, and then sells it out for free. We don't want to hit Pirate Bay levels. I do understand that. Okay? Completely understandable. Of course. But if you give people the ability to make their own costumes for their favorite characters, and also the ability to make their own stages, that would be wonderful. That would be fantastic. Okay? You can get this... You're pretty much going to get people making custom stuff and all this stuff, and pretty much... It makes all the labor and all the stuff easy for you when it comes to this stuff. So, hey, if you're doing DLC costumes and pretty much user-created costumes and user-created stages, That would be perfect. That would be great. It would be the wonderful thing that would get more and more people on there. Because people would be damn well willing to go ahead and bring their costume ideas for their characters to life. Or bring their stage ideas to life. That would be wonderful. Okay, the final point. The final point. Alright, I get that Dead or Alive has been prone to this reputation, pandered by on all these little outcry people that just love to go and pull this kind of shindig. Yes, I get there's people that keep sitting around here, oh, this is sexist, misogynist, this should be banned, people should be labeled sex offenders for playing them in the first place, okay? And they'll go and pull whatever tactic they'll pull and pretty much back developers, publishers, and consumers into a corner and force them to censor themselves. I do understand it. But really, for crying out loud, the waifus, the fan service, they're permanently etched and into the identity of Dead or Alive. You have to know your fans, you have to know what makes Dead or Alive Dead or Alive. And with that said, yes, the waifus and fan service are getting pretty much cracked down by these people. Okay? I don't know where they're coming from, to be honest with you here. But really, considering the situation that you're in right now, and considering that it should have been done in the first place, you have to be brave for the sake of Dead or Alive. Just like how Rockstar had to be brave for Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto was gaining a reputation for, oh, this is too violent, it causes mass shootings. But no. Rockstar is like, hey, we need this creative freedom, and we need to understand the identity of Grand Theft Auto. These are the stories of criminals. It's a free-roaming game where you can go around, blow helicopters off, and basically backstab prostitutes and shoot them in the back of the head. Okay? I mean, heck. And Grand Theft Auto ended up becoming profitable. Why, yes, there is some shady, predatory, monetary practice stuff going on with 5. But the reason why Grand Theft Auto continued to this day is that Rockstar realized that it was time for them to be brave for the sake of it. Just like how id Software was like, look, we have to be brave for the sake of Doom. And Midway and NetherRealm were like, look, we have to be brave for the sake of Mortal Kombat. Okay? And pretty much, and with that said, if you are brave for the sake of Dead or Alive, you will get people into Dead or Alive. And you will get your fans coming back. Definitely. Anyway, that is all, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out. I gotta go to sleep.